Dearest noble listener, the following episode will feature a conversation about who would win in various fights involving Spider-Man and other superheroes. And you may tell from my tone that I do not particularly care for this conversation. I'll tell you why, listener. Because I wasn't damn invited. These shifty, sneaky, rapscallions that I call my friends, they went behind my back and they recorded a whole nerdy conversation without me, a conversational nerd. I am livid. I am incensed that I was not invited. I did not get a call. Not even a hey, like a professional email that said, "Hey, we're not inviting you for XYZ reasons." Nothing. Nothing. Not a thank you, how you doing? Not a go to hell, not a goodbye, nothing. But for those that are concerned with my take on the topic, I hold fast to the idea that until you get to like a god type level of like Thor, Captain Marvel, that sort of thing, that it is frankly unfair to put anybody up against our boy Pete. If Wolverine squared off with Spider-Man, like, let's say Wolverine gets close enough to stab him. What happens? Spider-Sense, Pete kicks him to the literal moon. No. Like, the most damage that Wolverine will do is to the other cars as Spider-Man web swings his ass down 125th Street. No, there is no fight. There is no fight. Wolverine can't get close enough to him to hurt him, and Spider-Man is too strong to let this goofy Canadian get the drop on him. No. Nonsense. It's nonsense. Don't laugh, Omar. Don't spoil the aura that I am speaking against my cohorts. Shut up. Don't show behind the curtain.
I can't, man.
But yes, in summation, Spider-Man wins and Devon and Omar can go to hell. Enjoy the show.
This should be entertaining.
Every time you see Spider-Man and Wolverine together in the comics, it's either comedy, like Wolverine just clowning his costume or whatever, or Spider-Man is beating his ass.
Okay.
Every time you see, and there's a part of me that's like, I buy that. Spider-Man is really unhittable unless he wants you to hit him. And the amount of damage he could do, I go back to Firelord. And how the man, mind you, we don't know how much the symbiote suit was helping him in that situation. I don't know that he just owns a Herald of Galactus unless he's wearing that suit.
Right.
But you could also look at Doc Ock when he was in Pete's body and just see, Pete, pretty much same level genius as Dr. Octopus. I mean, they both beasts. Okay. If Pete wanted to and didn't hold back, I don't know that we've really even seen how powerful Spider-Man can really be. Now,
I don't think we.
So here you go. Now, mind you, this isn't. I'm getting something from this though. This isn't the type of question I think would be a co-open, but I think it's an interesting topic because I was thinking about this. This is the random weird things I think about when I'm walking into the office. I was like walking up to the door at work, and I'm like thinking about X-Men '97 and thinking about just how dope Nightcrawler was with the two swords and one in his tail.
Oh,
And it's just like, oh man. And we got to see, and I know we're talking about like stuff that we'll talk about later, but we got to see what teleportation looks like. Awesome. I'm like, that's awesome. So this got me to thinking about the Secret Wars when Spider-Man basically beat the ass of the entire X-Men. And mind you, there were caveats. One, Professor Xavier didn't really participate in the battle because he could have ended it right there had he wanted to. Just the lobotomized dude in this rap. Storm doesn't really participate because she's like, there's not enough space and I can end up hurting everybody. So there's some caveats. Right. So pretty much Spider-Man just hops around, beats everybody up. And I always had a problem with the fact that he just backhanded Wolverine. Like it was like nothing. He swatted him like a bug. And he also, his webbing, I had a problem with the fact that Rogue couldn't break out of his webbing. That to me was like, no, stop that. This wasn't like his symbiote suit webbing. He hadn't even gotten the suit yet. This was just the webbing he made up, that he invented. Right. And she was like, it's like steel cable. And while I believe that has to be true, Rogue has strength on a level that really should not have been a problem for her, but she's hung up in it. And I think it just served the narrative of that scene in order for them to get through what they need to get through. But there's a line where Nightcrawler says, I'm just as agile as he is. And Spider-Man webs him up and he's like, dude, not on your best day. Here's what I was thinking of, though, when they showed X-Men 97, when Nightcrawler had the two swords and the one in his tail, and then we got to see the teleportation joint. I was like, the one thing Nightcrawler has that Spider-Man does not is teleportation. Nightcrawler, for all intents and purposes, could teleport Pete into a wall and end it. Yeah. And so I'm like, maybe Nightcrawler can beat Spider-Man. Maybe Spider-Man isn't as OP as we think. At the same time, I was really originally thinking about it from the perspective of Wolverine never seems to get his due. I think it just depends on who's writing him. I just don't accept that Wolverine would get punked by Spider-Man because Cap routinely beats Spider-Man's ass. And I feel like Wolverine could give Cap a go. Cap, man,
I feel like
mind you, when I say this, there was a panel I saw where Pete got pissed off. And he smashed his Cap into a wall. He wasn't even wearing the suit.
Oh, I think we've seen the same one. Yeah.
He was just like, dude, man, if I don't feel like giving you your respect, I will end you. And I was like, well damn. Maybe I just need to, I'm a Wolverine stan. So probably part of this is just me not liking Wolverine getting his ass beat. But I also love Spider-Man. And maybe I'm just underappreciating just how dope Spider-Man is. So
I think it's
what's your thought on that?
I think it's both.
Okay.
Like we both grew up reading that one issue of Amazing Spider-Man where he took on Fire-Lord, and we're like, that's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's Spider-Man. If Spider-Man never wanted to like let loose, that's what would happen.
Yeah.
And I think that we've been carrying that Spider-Man around for almost 40 years now. But as far as Spider-Man goes, the writer Kurt Busiek has this really great theory about Spider-Man. I don't even know if we talked about it before.
Nah.
But he says Spider-Man, whenever he takes anyone on, like if you want to go Batman versus Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Spider-Man beats Batman.
Yes.
The first time. Like, you don't get a second chance with Batman.
Right.
You only get that first chance.
Right.
And I think that that's what happens with Spider-Man. If you're a hero, you only get that one time with him. So you better effing enjoy it. Say... a character like, let's say, Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic.
Right.
Even though their power sets don't match up, I think that you would have an interesting battle where Spider-Man, even though he is super physically stronger than this man,
Right.
he would have problems because I think that Spider-Man's one of his greatest weaknesses is that he gets into his own head. I
That's
really
fair.
think he gets right.
Yeah.
And if he's suddenly up against, like, basically his version of Einstein, this person that he probably admires
Right.
more than anybody in the world, he's going to be like, oh, how can I take it easy on Stretchy Man? But Reed Richards is going to be like, this is a threat that needs neutralization.
Facts.
So I think that Spider-Man could, if he wanted, he would win that first one. But he's not going to win the second one against Reed Richards. You know what I mean?
You know what, man? I would argue that that Reed Richards can beat Spider-Man every single
Oh,
time.
yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think he can. Yeah. I think he actually can beat Spider-Man.
Which is
Like, just
insane to me to even say that out of my mouth.
he
But
can outthink him.
well, I think even Reed Richards, what we forget, and I'm going off of. Do you remember the issue where I want to say it's like Fantastic Four 200?
Mhm.
He beat Doctor Doom's ass 1-on-1. I don't know if you
Spider-Man did?
no.
Reed Richards.
Reed Richards did.
Okay.
Them two mano a mano, and Reed got in that ass. He was like, I'm about, and he was doing things like turning his hand into a spiked hammer and increasing the mass and things that I'm going, I didn't know he could do that. Now, mind you, I've seen people also, take him and just turn him into spaghetti and just leave him just spread out rubbery man, just ending, and I've also seen, to get into Fantastic Four a little bit, Sue's the most powerful person on that entire team. What Byrne wrote with Malice is just, I didn't know. I'm like, I had no idea. She's really untouchable. But Reed ain't no bitch, right? He not weak. I didn't know. I had to put some respect on his name.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, everybody thinks that he has a lame power set, which he actually kind of does. But I think the key to writing Mr. Fantastic, or even just understanding Mr. Fantastic, is that his stretching powers are a bonus. Like, his brain is his true.
That's his true power.
Superpower. Yeah. And if you give him enough time to figure out a way to reverse the situation in their favor, he's gonna win every time.
Right.
He's gonna win every time. Because this man, he lives in his own head. Like, he might not be Batman who has a plan for everyone, but I'm sure when he's not doing equations and all this other stuff, there's probably a moment where he goes, oh, how can I neutralize Spider-Man? Okay. Yeah. That's an idea. I'll revisit that.
Yeah.
How can I neutralize Galactus? Oh, yeah, well, that one didn't quite work out the way. Okay, I'll come back to it and definitely fine-tune that. In that sense, I really think that Mr. Fantastic is scary. And I think that they touched upon that in the Ultimate Comics universe, because there's a version of Reed Richards called The Maker.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't know about this.
I didn't know about that. No.
Yeah, where he is basically the big bad of the Ultimate Universe, where he just literally just said, you know what? I'm going to rule the world. Everybody else is like, I'm going to neutralize all the threats that this world has, and I'm just going to take it over because I think I know what to do with this world. And basically, the Maker is still out there, I believe. I think he's actually in the 616 universe. I haven't read a Fantastic Four comic or an Ultimates comic in a while, but
you can maybe pick
from
that
my
up.
understanding,
I had no idea.
Yeah, that was. I think that he was the villain of the Secret Wars mini that came out about over a decade ago, I think it was.
Okay.
Just about a decade ago. The one that basically absorbed certain elements of the Ultimate Universe into the 616 universe. That's why Miles Morales is actually in the 616 universe now, because
Got you.
Miles actually was able to neutralize the threat of the Maker. This was one of the best things I've ever seen. He neutralized the threat by kindness.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, by kindness. Yeah.
That's powerful.
I'm shocked you don't know about this.
I didn't know this was a thing. That's crazy.
Yeah. So there's a character named the Molecule Man, who's a Fantastic Four villain, one of the most powerful villains of all time. He was also in the Secret War comic, Secret Wars comic.
He was like a major component to that. Like he was a major plan or cog in the wheel for Doom, as I recall.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and people can tell me if I'm wrong, but he kind of coded as like maybe being on the spectrum a little bit, and so everybody was trying to take advantage of him.
Yeah.
So everybody was trying to take advantage of him back then, and I believe it was Dr. Doom tried to take advantage of him so that he could take over the battle world.
Right.
But in the Ultimate Universe, there was Molecule Man, and the Maker, knowing how powerful and how susceptible Molecule Man could be to persuasion, he basically banished him to a different reality. I'm not sure the mechanics of how it happened, but Miles Morales also happened to be there. And there's a point where the Molecule Man is talking to Miles, and he's talking about the things that he misses, and he misses being hungry.
Wow.
And for reasons, but also because he's a teenager.
Right.
Like Miles is just like, oh, you're hungry. Yeah, well, I happen to have half a cheeseburger left. You can have it if you want it.
Wow.
And Molecule Man just looks at him and it's just like, wow, you're actually just being kind to me. And he's like, yeah, you said you were hungry, and like, we're going to be here for a while. Like, maybe we'll figure something out. But yeah, just enjoy your cheeseburger, dude. And so when the big threat goes and passes, and the Ultimate Universe is dying as they know it, the Molecule Man basically looks at Miles and says, you did me a favor, and I'll do you a favor. And he's like, okay. And so then Miles is transported into the 616 universe. And it's like nothing ever happened, It's like the Ultimate Universe doesn't exist anymore. And his dad, he sees his dad, and he's like, Dad, you're not going to believe this, and blah, blah, blah. And also previously, and this is where the big hook comes in.
Okay.
Previously in Ultimate Spider-Man, his mother Rio died.
Oh, wow.
And so while he's talking to his dad, Rio walks through the door.
Oh,
and
man.
He just loses it. And he's I don't know if he still is, but he was carrying the fact that he knew his mother had died and that the Molecule Man had arranged things so that her death never happened in the 616 universe.
Oh, wow.
It's one of my favorite stories of all time.
Oh man, that's
Like,
just
all
there's
because
so,
he was kind.
there's so much in
All
that,
because
man.
he was kind.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
so
hmm
there's so much to unpack with that.
Yeah.
That and
Yeah.
the way that you presented it, one, I can just tell that it's that you loved it just by the way you tell the story.
hmm
Two, I love the fact that the writers took something that is I don't want to say I don't know the right word. Something that potentially could have landed as, oh, I've seen that before. Like there's a familiar trope in films where what you needed was in you all along.
Oh yeah.
Right? It could have landed like that. But instead, they took something that we've seen before, like, oh, okay, kindness won the day. And knowing it's half the battle. Yo, Joe, like we've seen
Right.
we've seen this. But if they can take something like that, set it up, and then have it land, as a writer, as you are, and as I'm listening to it as well, I personally appreciate it when a writer can take something that I saw coming and still make it land and land in a powerful way with me, where I go, wow, I knew that that's probably where this was headed, but damn, you still made it stick. And I just appreciate the fact that you were able to make it land, even though I have seen something like this before. It makes it even more powerful. It's like, wow, you didn't insult me as your audience. You delivered and you stuck the landing on it. That's how that comes across. Like thinking about the elements of the Molecule Man and how people would take advantage of him. And here, it's interesting what you said. And correct me if I misheard this. He said, I miss being hungry. He didn't say that he was hungry. He said, I just miss simple things like being hungry. And Miles, not even really thinking about it, just like, well, dude, here, man, since you hungry. Like, he's not even thinking that the dude don't really need it. He's thinking, man, here's somebody with a need. I'm going to take away from what I have because I am going to be hungry in just a little bit. But it's we'll figure it out. It reminds me, man, of back in 2015. I was this is December of 2015. The Force Awakens was getting ready to come out. In fact, it was like, it was like the day it came out. And I bought tickets to go see it at AMC down here at Disney. And man, me, three of my boys, we all dressed up in matching outfits. Man, they were this was a ridiculous thing. There was like a red carpet, it was like a hard ticket event. I put on, we went to Target and bought pajamas that were like a onesie. And I had the Darth Vader onesie on. Now, mind you, we're in Florida. It's hot as all outside, right? Yeah. But I'm wearing this onesie, this Darth Vader onesie. My boy had Chewbacca. The other, I can't remember what Rob was wearing, but Andrew was wearing like a stormtrooper. I got pictures of all this. I actually got interviewed on like the red carpet, and that was playing in like the Disney offices for a while. Like people were like sending me text messages like, "Dude, you're on TV throughout all the campuses," and I was like, "Oh, because they were hyping up, making a big deal." We get up in there, and the whole thing that they were doing was the show actually started at 7. We were in there like at 3 because they were going to show all the prequels, or like they were showing films, or I can't remember if it was the prequels or if it was like the I think it was the original New Hope, Empire, Return of the Jedi. Or at least one of them, something leading up to, there was a film that we were going to see first that then led into Force Awakens. So it might have been Return of the Jedi. I just don't remember. It was 100 years ago. But there was a film we saw leading up to it, and then right into seeing Force Awakens. So we here for it, man. We in there, loving it. We get in, and we get through the first film, and the line for concessions is just insane. Like you can't, you not get like if you decided to go in between the films, waiting to have something, so when Force Awakens started, you could have popcorn or whatever. The line was just too long. You weren't going to make it back to your seat in time in order to get it. So my man Keel had taken the L, gone out, done the whole line, and got like a small pizza. And he comes back, and I see the pizza. Man, I ain't had nothing because we so excited. I just been sitting there watching the movie. I didn't get up and go. And I said, man, let me hurry up and get something. We still had like 30 minutes. I said, man, let me run out there and see if I can get something. And I get out there, man, and the line is just, you ain't gonna make it. And I'm like, I ain't been sitting here all day to not see the beginning of the film.
Right.
So I come back in, and I'm just like, all right, I got to hold this L. I'm gonna be hungry. So I sit there, and Kid was like, man, what happened? And I said, man, it's, the line is just too long. I wouldn't make it back in here in time. And my man took the pizza that he had waited in line. I'm talking about like 2 hours. Like he had missed, it's mind you, it's a movie we've seen before, but he had missed the movie, stood in line, got the pizza. I know he's hungry. He split it with me. He was like, bro,
oh, wow.
We just split it, man. Here, take half of mine. And I remember, man, I was floored. I was like, dude, you stood in line for this. He was like, come on, man, I ain't going to have it my boy not have.
Right.
And it in those moments, man, you wonder what you would have done.
Mm-hmm.
You wonder, Devon, when I tell you, there was no thought to it. There was no, it was just, that's just who he is. I was like, oh, shoot, man, that's you. That's who you are. And further, it made me look at who I was, who I wasn't, because I had to question, man, would I have done that for him? But it taught me a lesson that I will take to the grave, and to hear that that's how Miles was able to win the day. It reminds me of that story, and one of those seminal moments in my life where I was taught the value of sharing mind you, Devon, sharing from your lack, not from your abundance. Anybody can give when they, when you flush, but when you got it, when you ain't gonna have, and there's no thought, there's no hesitation. Here, man, I'm not gonna have, and you not have. Humbled me, blew my mind. To this day, it blows my mind. That dude can do no wrong in my eyes, because I know who he genuinely is. And then, frankly, he changed me to a person that says, you know what? I've got to be better. I can give better than I do. And that, man, that's what you love about a hero like Spider-Man, about Miles Morales, somebody like that. That's what makes you root for a dude like that he would just be selfless. And so, yeah, man, I can see why that's very powerful. Why that resonates. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's one of my favorite scenes of any genre, comics, movies, whatever, of all time. It's just because I think it distills in a few panels exactly what superhero comics should be. It's about this selflessness that isn't necessarily shown in other places. Of course, there's selflessness shown in books, it's shown in movies, it's all that. But to me, there's something very special about when you can convey why a character is good, why they persevere on that comics page. That just gives me a thrill like none other. I think the biggest, like a great, for instance, I remember when I was a kid, and I was reading comics in my old bedroom back when I used to live with my grandmother.
Yeah.
I remember I had an issue of Thor where Steve Rogers had to give up the Captain America mantle because the administration at the time did not like the way he operated. And the way that he operated was with fairness. And this administration was more of on a America First tangent.
Okay.
So Steve Rogers is walking around America as the captain.
I remember this. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And he has on this black costume where there's like a sort of like white representation of the American flag with a single star on it, and the star is black. And he still has the red boots, and it's basically the Captain America costume, but all in black and white at that point. And Thor, he's guest starring in Thor. Thor is being overtaken by, I want to say it was like the Sons of the Serpent or something like that. And Thor is away from Mjolnir. And he's trying to summon it, but it's not coming to him for some reason. And the reason is Captain America has picked up Mjolnir and is thrashing the Serpent Society with Mjolnir. To my knowledge, that was the first time anybody outside of an Asgardian had ever picked up the
really
and been worthy. Yeah. And I just remember getting like a chill down my spine and goosebumps and just going, oh my God, comics, nothing better. Now, you cut 30 some years into the future,
mm-hmm.
and I'm watching Avengers Endgame along with everyone else. And there's a scene where Thor is fighting Thanos,
mm-hmm.
and Thanos is slowly pushing Thor's new hammer axe thing into his chest. And you just see Mjolnir bounce off of like Thanos.
Yeah.
And you see it go back to where it came from. And the shot is Captain America rearing back, catching Mjolnir. And I don't know if you've seen that thing, but they're like 5 years ago, this was like a viral clip.
I saw it.
Someone had actually brought in a camera
mm-hmm.
and caught everyone's reaction. To Cap picking up Mjolnir. I remember in my theater where I was at, my partner at the time, I literally screamed because that thing that I loved so much 30 years ago was back in my face, reminded me how much I love the printed page.
Yeah.
How much I love that scene, how much I love these characters. And I literally was screaming, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, to the point that she actually had to put her hands on me and bring me back down to the chair. And I'm not lying to you. I was literally in tears.
Yeah.
I was like, they did it. They did it. I was like, oh my God, they did it. And she was like, I know. Just calm down. And oh my God. Like, I don't think I had ever been more excited for a moment ever than in that moment. And that's, like I said, that's why I love comics, and that's why I love that scene, is because inherently what it was saying is the good guys always not win, but they fight.
Yes.
And it might not be a physical fight. It might even be a fight where it's like, okay, I've got 2 million options, and I'm trapped in this universe with like the most dangerous man outside of like Doctor Doom.
Right.
And what's my move here? Oh, you're hungry? Oh, here. Take the sandwich I was saving for some reason. It's okay. And you do it not because you expect anything out of it. You do it because it's within you to try and do right by someone else. And that's what I loved about what happens later. He just did this very selfless teenager thing. And he walks into the house expecting nothing. And he is literally given his world.
Given everything. Yeah.
Given everything he had ever lost. Well, the thing that he had lost, the biggest loss,
Yes.
had been returned to him. And that's why I freaking love comics.